What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, the TrackStar, and welcome back to Dancehall Masterclass. Continuing on from where we left off the last time, where we added a DSR to the vocals to kind of control some sibilants, you know, those S's and C's, and you know what I mean? So now that we have the vocal in a space where it is basically sitting on top of the rhythm, you know, it's not fighting with the rhythm so we can hear it. Now we want to kind of enhance that and kind of give the vocal a space where it can just live in. You understand what I'm saying? We do that by using, you know, delays and reverbs and stuff like that. So we go play the beat with the vocals again so we can get a quick refresher, and then we'll jump into that.
The way you know about my bank account heavy and my crew out. No fucky so my name no they all bout. Me the haters them a talk about. No have no time to watch girl chat girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up, life sweet what the pagans. The way you know about my bank.
Alright, cool. So as you can hear, like I said, everything is nice. The vocals top of the rhythm. It's not really fighting, you know, but it could be better. It always could be better. So that's what we're kind of exploring in this video, right? So if we go down memory lane for a split second, we did subtractive EQing, did some compression, additive EQing, we brought back some frequencies, enhanced some frequencies, and then we kind of controlled all of the sibilants, like I said, the S's and the C's and stuff like that. So now that we have all of that, it's to the point where, you know, the vocals have a good bounce to it, but, you know, now you just want more out of it, right? So the first thing that I am going to do is, in FL, it's different from, you know, like a Pro Tools or any other major DAW, because it's kind of a little bit more difficult to set up separate tracks, like aux tracks and stuff like that. You know, in Pro Tools, it's I wouldn't say it's very simple, but it's much more productive. It's much more relevant to what's going on, because with FL Studio already giving you all the mixer tracks to choose from, you know, it's kind of pre-routed. You understand what I'm saying? So any track I click on, it's already pre-routed to the master and pre-routed somewhere else. Whereas in, you know, a different DAW, you maybe have to set it up how you want it, and that's probably the better way to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right, all the way down. You will see 4 tracks. In every new session in FL Studio, there's 4 tracks that every single track on the mixer, except for the master, is routed to. And these are what we call sends or returns. They're basically kind of designated tracks for effects like reverbs and delays and stuff like that. So that's what we are going to use those tracks for. So keeping with the philosophy that we don't have any VSTs and we don't really have a lot of stuff available to us at this current time, I'm going to just use stock plugins and the bundle that I have been using, which is the dead duck stuff. So the first bus, we will call that reverb, our first auxiliary. Cool. The second one, we'll call that delay. The third one, we will call that chorus. And the fourth, we'll call that air. Cool. So, if you listen.
The way you know about my bank account heavy and my crew out. No fucky so my name no they all bout.
Nice. So like I said, we're just about to just give it its own space to live in. So let's load up our reverb. Let's see if Dead Duck has one. All right. So they have a reverb, very simple, not too many options out there. We have a few settings. It seems to be a room reverb, which is why it's saying room size right here. But that's fine, no problems. We can make that work. We can always make another reverb bus if needs be. So let's default that back out. So what we're going to do is now we're going to start sending level into the reverb.
The way you know about my bank account heavy and my crew out. No fucky so my name no they all.
And if you want to just hear the reverb signal, all you have to do is disconnect the channel from the mixer. So we'll disconnect this. Let's rename this track vocals like that. And let's give it like a bright color so it stands out. Cool. So now we have the reverb on all of our buses. Let's change those colors as well so they stand out. Doesn't really matter the color, just needs something to identify them. So now we are just hearing pure reverb. Okay, so there are a few settings to understand. Pre-delay is basically how many milliseconds or seconds before you hear the delayed signal or the reverb signal. For a lot of people that don't know, a reverb is just a random group of echoes. That is the technical definition of a reverb. It's a random group of echoes. You can look that up anywhere. So if I increase the pre-delay, it's actually behaving like a delay, you know what I mean? So pre-delay, a lot of the times, a lot of professionals, they will tend to have the pre-delay never really set at 0. A lot of times they'll go for 10 to 20, sometimes even more than that, depending on the song. So me, typically, I like to leave mine at 0, but sometimes I'll go up to like a 10 or a 20, where it's barely noticeable, but it actually just makes a difference, right? So we'll do that. I'm also going to engage sync. Now, what that does is when I engage sync, basically it locks the reverb with the tempo of my session. So now instead of milliseconds, we have quarter notes and 16 notes and stuff like that. So we can do that. It's not a problem. So I'm going to basically lock it with sync and then put it at like a 30-second, which would probably be about 20 milliseconds or so, 11. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We won't notice it, but it will make a difference in the long run. Also, the size. I'm liking the size as it is right now. That's fine. The width, I'm liking that as well. Basically, how wide the reverb will sound. Dampening is basically how quickly the signal will die down. So if I increase the dampening to maximum, basically I'm getting rid of the signal. It's like killing it immediately. With no dampening, the signal just goes on and on and on. I actually like it in the center, so we'll leave that there. Mix is self-explanatory, is wet or dry. Basically, it's an auxiliary, so you always want that to be 100% wet. There's no need for it to be dry. If it's going to be 50% wet and 50% dry, you might as well put the reverb on the vocals itself. So all that's set. Low cut and high cut is basically low cut and high cut, whether you want to cut out some of the lows or cut out some of the highs. Me, I'll go up to about 100 hertz or so on the lows, and then on the highs, I'll take back to probably about like 12 or 13K, and then if we listen again, now if we listen to, no, I like that there, that's fine. So now, let's play this back with the vocals on the master, and we'll just blend the reverb until we get it to a level that we like it.
Happy way you know about my bank account heavy and my chrome out. No fucky so my name no they all bout. Me the haters them a talk bout. No have no time to watch girl chat girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up, life sweet what the pagans. Happy way you know about my bank account heavy and my chrome out. No fucky so my name no they all bout. Me the haters them a talk bout. No have no time to watch girl chat girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up, life sweet what the pagans. Happy way you know about my bank account heavy and my chrome out. No fucky so my name no they all bout. Me the haters them a talk bout.
That's without the reverb.
No time to watch girl chat girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up, life sweet what the pagans.
And it just adds that body just gives the vocals some width, and it's really necessary, because in these modern times, vocals are just getting wetter and wetter and wetter. It used to be like a 2 or 3 second reverb. Nowadays, it's like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 second reverb, and that's crazy. So that's cool. I'm liking that. So one thing that I like to do is I like to add a second reverb. So that I would consider that my short reverb. So I'll rename this short reverb. And I like to have another bus, which would be my long reverb. So let's do that. Let's color that. Cool. And this time around, I'm going to use the FL Studio stock reverb plugin, Reverb 2. which is not showing in my plugin list. So let's go more plugins. Why it's not showing is actually beyond me. So let's just get that to load in. It's not showing the FL Studio Reverb. FL Reverb 2 right here. So let's load that in. Cool. And this is one of my favorite. I used to use this all the time. I don't use it as much now, but it was definitely one of my favorite plugins back in the day because it's just simple. It's to the point. So basically all the settings that we just covered is still here. You know, we can lock this to tempo and all of that type of stuff. And we have a mid-side mode. We won't really mess with any of that. So I really want a really big reverb this time around. So if we drag to the left, we can change the shape. If we drag up and down, we can change the size, right? So we want it as big as possible, as wide as possible. Cool. We don't want any of the dry signal. We want all the wet signal. Cool. So now if we play again and send the signal into this reverb. Firstly, let's send it to that channel. And the reason why we had to send it is, remember, these other 4 are designated aux channels. So everything was already routed. So now we had to actually manually route. So let's start sending a signal and taking a listen.
The way you know about my bank account, heavy and my crew out. No fucky, so my name, no they all about. Me, the haters, them a talk about. No have no time to watch girl chat, girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up. Life sweet, what the pagans. The way you know about my bank account, heavy and my crew out. No fucky, so my name, no they all about. Me, the haters, them a talk about. No have no time to watch girl chat, girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up. Life sweet, what the pagans. The way you know about my bank account, heavy and my crew out. No fucky, so my name, no they all about. Me, the haters, them a talk about. No have no time to watch girl chat, girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up. Life sweet, what the pagans.
And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to send all of these tracks currently as is. I'm going to route them into another track somewhere on the mixer. And the reason why I want to do that is, so it seems as if we cannot route the designated track. So we'll skip that for now. I'll explain that later on in the series. So let's just skip that for right now. So let's take a listen again. This is without.
The way you know about my bank account, heavy and my crew out. No fucky, so my name, no they all about. Me, the haters, them a talk about.
And this is with.
No time to watch girl chat, girl. My body clean and firm and natural. Everything up from my wake up, makeup up. Life sweet, what the pagans. The way you know about my bank account, heavy and my crew out. No fucky, so my name, no they all about. Me, the haters, them a talk about. No.
Cool. You know what I mean? So the next video we'll get into delay and chorus. Until then, it's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, the TrackStar. Peace.